Hey RSL fans, coming off a disappointing 5-0 aggregate loss to the LA Galaxy in the MLS Cup Western Conference semifinals, had the opportunity to catch up with Real Salt Lake General Manager Garth Lagerwey, head coach Jeff Cassar, and a few of the players as they took part in their exit physicals in preparation for the offseason.
Coming out of the Galaxy game, obviously disappointed, not the way we wanted to finish the season. I think we were pretty good in the first leg. Didn't finish our chances there. As our coaching staff reminded me today, if you win the first leg 2-0, you probably have a different posture when you're in LA. Maybe you're less open and maybe you get a better outcome through that. So at the same time, I think you got to own that game. Worst loss in 7 years since I've been here. And disappointing, performance, that must be said. I mean, I didn't think that our group was capable collectively on a big stage of playing like that. So, I think that's got to be part of the assessment, as does the fact that we got 56 points, second most ever, and scored 54 goals, second most ever, and finished, I think, third in the league in defense in terms of goals allowed. So a lot of positive data points and some pretty negative ones at the end, but you got to look at everything in the big picture.
Just really disappointment. We had such a positive first leg. Played the style that we wanted to. We applied the pressure that we wanted to. Didn't get the goals that we needed to at home, but the performance was there. But the second leg was just a disappointment. It was a disappointment that we lost control of the game early and we're never able to regain control or get control of the game to establish the way we play. I got to go back and look at things that I could have done differently to help the team into that, to have a better game plan in that game. But, looking back at the season was a very successful one for many reasons. It's just a shame that we think of the 90 minutes that we had a very bad game against a team that played extremely good, and we have to focus on that.
Didn't go the way we planned, and unfortunately, that's the outcome. It wasn't our best day. I don't think really anyone played well, and tactically we weren't there, and the Galaxy wiped the floor with us, and it's tough to digest. I've watched the game twice now and learned from it, or tried to learn from it what I could, and tried to leave it behind, because as a pro athlete, you have to move on. There's going to be a next game. The tough thing is that the next game's not going to be till March. So in looking back at the season, I think obviously that's going to be the standout memory, but you have to remember there were many games before that, and it was a positive year from that aspect.
It's pretty tough, nobody likes to lose. They are a good team, and we play against each other for like a lot of time, but 5-0, it's not fun. It's not fun, especially playoff, It's going to be tough for us, but I think it has to be a motivation for us, and try to be ready and stronger next year.
15 wins, another 50-plus point season. What is it about this group that makes it so consistent over the course of a year in MLS?
The reason for our success always starts in preseason. We're able to establish so many things, establish the way we want to play, the type of defense we want to play, the type of offense we want to play, and just keep building on that throughout the year. And I think we did a great job of that. As you said, 15 wins, 56 points. That's a huge success for 95% of the clubs. Obviously with RSL, we want championships, and not to finish with any type of trophy is always a disappointment. But we have a good nucleus of veterans, young talent, to put ourselves in this position again next year. I've learned so much about myself, about the team, about the staff throughout this entire year that we need to put ourselves back in this position again next year and be better.
Very good for first-year staff. Jeff would be the first to tell you he has things that he would like to improve upon and he would like to grow into, and I think that's a great attitude. And he's always been humble. He's always been open to input from me, and despite that input, he's succeeded. So, he's a good guy, and he works really hard, and I think it sets a good example for our staff. And I think if you have that work ethic and you have the group collectively making informed decisions about players and tactics and systems, then hopefully you got a good chance of success, even if we have to tweak a couple things in the offseason.
Highlights of the year, anything in the locker room. I mean, this is such a special group, and I think this year with expansion, that's kind of in the back of your mind. Hey, we're going to lose some people. Our locker room could be different next year, and we've just got such a fantastic group of guys, and really coming into training every morning, driving to the stadium, and that anticipation of seeing your buddies and just talking about whatever. It's just really fun. And so I think that's going to be the biggest thing that stands out for me.
This last year, I think we need to win something, to win a cup, Open Cup, MLS Cup, CONCACAF, something. Because I think if you see this team and the numbers are pretty good for the last 5 years, 6 years. We always there, playoff, semi-final, final. But I think we need to win something. I hope that next year we win something.
How do you define how special this group of guys have been over the 7 years that you've been here?
I think we've been really fortunate to have a group of guys who are not just good players but good characters. The pure spine of the team is Ramondo, Borchers, Beckerman, Morales, Sabarillo, in terms of the guys that maybe been there the longest, and that's pretty impressive. And I put that up against anybody in the league, and the fact that we did it on a budget smaller than any of the major clubs did, I'm pretty proud of as well. That's also not possible without players buying in, and it's not about being so smart as a GM or anything like that. You have to have people on the other side of the table that are maybe willing to make some financial sacrifice and some sacrifice for the team to fit within a smaller club's budgets, and to say I really like playing together, and I really enjoy playing with this team, and I really enjoy playing this way, and buying into the idea that we could have success. In the last 7 years, 4 conference finals. To your point, we haven't won a title since 2009. That's disappointing. But again, I think overall a lot of good.
If you see, a lot of players come and goes, and like you say, those guys, stay for a while and try to keep the group together, and try to win things and try to play the same style for a long time. But it's soccer, and you have to keep winning, to keep changing, to keep improving. I think we're getting old, like a couple of guys, 32, 34. So we need, young guys to step up. We need that energy, especially in this team.
Credit to Garth and Jason about the people they brought in here and what they've built, and credit to the players, because it's difficult in the smallest market to compete with a lot of these teams and to do it consistently. And over the past 6 years, we've always been competitive. And I think that's something to be proud of. And I think all the trophies might not be there, unfortunately, but this group has accomplished a lot. I think we have a lot to be proud of.
You just look at the points per year. The style of soccer, obviously, it's an attractive game. Obviously, we've had a tremendous amount of fan support this year, so many sellouts. That's a credit to our ownership and their commitment. It's a credit to our players, and it's a credit to our fans. We had the second best home record this year, which is something to be very, very proud of. It was something that was a goal at the beginning of the year, was to make sure we became Rio Tinto became a fortress again, and with the second best home record, I think we proved that.
Register now for the 2015 season ticket waiting list at realsaltlake.com.